Welcome back, Fabiano, to Bucharest. In the previous 2 years, you managed to win these events. So tell me a little bit about it and how did it go for you?
Yeah, I think, even though I won the last 2 years, last year was so difficult and ended on like a really bittersweet note. I mean, I lost the classical game in the last round, but then the rapid ended very well for me and I won. And then you're not too upset when you win a tournament, but you're also thinking, why couldn't I have just made my life easier and not lost the game in the first place? And the year before, I was very happy, and the whole Grand Chess Tour the year before that was great for me. I mean, everything went pretty much perfectly. So I'm hoping that I can also continue my success, but I think that +1 will not suffice this year. That would be my bet. Like last year, +1, I think it was very rare that actually managed to win the tournament. So I'll probably have to play better if I want to try to fight for the first place.
Yeah, and it's your first tournament in this season Grand Chess Tour, and how do you approach it? What are your goals, let's say, and like hopes?
Yeah, it's still a bit early in terms of like what you want to aim for because many players haven't played any event, and we've only had the one event so far, which was dominated by one player who's not even participating in the entire Grand Chess Tour. So we have some information on how some players are doing, like Prague and Maxime had a pretty good event even though they weren't able to win, and maybe they're hoping to build on that. But for the rest of us, it's still like a blank slate, and I will, of course, try to fight for the first place.
After playing so many freestyle chess events, like, are you happy to have the classical set of the pieces now in Bucharest?
Well, I enjoy both. I maybe would prefer to start on some rapid and blitz first to get warmed up. Going straight into classical, sometimes you can have like a violent start. Last time it was violent in my favor because I played this game against Ali Reza where he was much better at the opening, more or less winning, and then somehow I managed to win the game. And that kind of decided our fate in the tournament because he had a great rest of the tournament and I didn't, but still we shared the first place and I won in the tiebreak. So that first game was super important for both of us. And also in the Singfield Cup, it was the same thing, but the opposite. I had this classical game against him. I was much better. I lost. It was exactly the same story, but reversed. And then that was one of the main reasons that he won the tournament. I got second place behind him, one half point behind. So this kind of first game can be very meaningful.
Yes, exactly. And before you said also about how many points you need to win this event. And I was wondering if it's still possible these days in classical chess to show this kind of domination as you showed in 2014, winning so many games in one tournament. Like it seems like not the story these days.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often, if ever. I mean, at least in these very stable fields where everyone is kind of a contender. If you have a mixed field, then sometimes it happens. You have one player who's really dominating. We kind of saw it with Magnus in his last event, although it's of course a different story. It's not the usual standard setup where I think things are a bit more stable and people play more solidly. But we don't see that too often. So I used to have some performances like that every once in a while, like Singfield Cup or the event in Vaikanze in 2020, I scored +7. But it hasn't happened for many years. Now it's like +3, you just win, or you just win an event with +3. I think the last time I scored +3 was the Singfield Cup in 2023, and I was super happy with that performance. I beat Wesley, Richard in the last round, Wesley, and I think Ali Reza, with black, and that was enough for clear first. And also Ali Reza in the Singfield Cup last year, +3, enough for clear first. So that's usually my kind of, the eye is towards +3 and that's going to win you the tournament. And if it doesn't, then that's just bad luck.
You've been in the Grand Chess Tour from the very beginning. You said you played all of them. And I was wondering, it was changing over the years. And how do you feel you have changed over the years together with Grand Chess Tour?
Yeah, my chess has definitely changed. I think all the players have changed, and we also see a slightly different field. Like the first time in 2015, the events were also different. There was a lot of different locations. Like we played in Norway, we played in Belgium, and we played in France. And 2015, a lot of the guys who I used to compete with very, very often, slightly older generation, like Vishy Anand, Vladimir Kramnik, Veselin Topalov, those guys are not very active these days. I mean, Veselin did play in the last one, so he had a small comeback. But those guys that I've played so many times, and of course they're legends of the game, all of them world champions, I don't really play against them too often. So a lot of the players have changed. But I do feel like my chess has definitely changed. I was one of the youngest players back then. Now I'm, okay, maybe not one of the oldest, but I'm one of the perhaps older guys in the tournament. Thankfully, I've not been the oldest yet in any tournament I've ever played in. So I'm waiting for that day, but it hasn't come yet.
Yeah, and I was wondering who was the toughest opponent for you all these years playing in Grand Chess Tour, starting from the beginning?
I mean, the normal answer is Magnus, but everyone has been tough. And especially in like Rapid and Blitz, I very often found it difficult to play against Wesley. And at some point, I think I managed to get a bit more of like in the last few years, upper hand against him, because he was a difficult opponent for me for quite a long period of time. And also, like, Anish was a difficult opponent for me for a long time. These were like very solid guys. And then more recently, I won a game against him and managed to get like a small measure of revenge, which felt very nice.
Yeah. Are you happy that Anish is not playing this year? I mean, especially remembering the stories from the past.
No, not really. It also became so familiar to play alongside him. I mean, we're very close in age. I'm a bit older, but for so many years, it became very normal to play alongside him. So I just remember like playing against him in every like Bucharest Superbet Chess Classic. So this is I think the first time that I won't be playing against him here.
Yeah, and my last question, like, do you have some places, I mean, coming so many times to Romania, do you have some places you would like to visit again? I mean, some special food you like?
I'll probably visit the Old Town again. I thought it was very nice. It's a charming area. Besides that, I don't have too many plans. Like, most of my plans are connected to chess, and we only have one rest day, so there's not so much sightseeing you can do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Fabi, and all the best of luck for you in the tournament.
Thank you.